Hey everybody, I'm Dean Velasco and I'm standing outside Watered Gardens. It's one of the many nonprofits in the area that really reaches out to the community at large. And in a moment we're going to be talking with Travis Hurley, who is the Director of Outreach here at Watered Gardens, to discuss the many ways that Watered Gardens really gives back to the community, does outreach for the community, and how we as a community can be involved in Watered Gardens and give back to the community as well. So stick with us. It's going to be a great interview. Dean Velasco with the Tortuga Group, and we are just here interviewing Travis Hurley, who is the Director of Advancement here at Watered Gardens. And I'm not going to dive into their story. Let Travis talk about it a little bit, but they've been around for a while doing amazing work in our area. So Travis, just kind of talk about yourself for a moment. Just let our audience know what you do, what your role is here, and then we'll just kind of dive right from there.
We look at them or look at you. All right.
So, back and forth.
All right. So yeah, my name's Travis Hurley, and I first came to Joplin in 1992 to go to school at Ozark Christian College here in town. Eventually graduated from there in 98 and was out in preaching ministry for the next 17 or so years. Then I came back here in 2012 and I worked at the college for a few years in their development fundraising department and volunteered here at Watered Gardens. Then I came on staff here in January of 2017, so I'm coming up on 5 years here at this ministry, and I love it. Yeah, so there you go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and since you've been on point here with Watered Gardens, what would you say? I know that they have their own mission statement.
Yeah.
What is the mission of Watered Gardens, and what does that look like for the community?
I love the mission statement here. It's a little unique. Watered Gardens has been around since 2000, so we've just started our 22nd year of ministry in the area. And the mission of this ministry is not to serve the poor. People are like, what do you mean? It's like, well, I mean, you have homeless ministry, you're providing food and clothing and all that. It's like, well, we're a place where that happens. But our ministry, our mission is to serve the church. And we believe it's the church's job in the Joplin and surrounding area to take care of the poor. So we try to be a place where the church can do that and do it effectively. There's a lot of times you have really good intentions when it comes to serving those struggling, and you end up hurting instead of helping, either perpetuating dependency or putting yourself in a paternalistic situation, just giving handouts over and over, and people's lives never change. So we went through a period of practicing ministry that way and realized this isn't working. We're just spinning our wheels, we're kicking the can down the street a little ways, and people's lives aren't being transformed. So we shifted to this earn it model, where people work to earn whatever they need. So we've got a worth shop, and people can work to get food, clothing, shelter, access to laundry or shower facilities. And as long as you are working in the worth shop and meeting with our care coordination team, setting goals and working to achieve them, you know you have a bed here. You don't have to line up each day and hope to get it. So once you get in, you can protect that bed by just following some basic rules. And it's a pretty cool concept. And that means that if we're here to serve the church, we got to make sure the church knows we're here. And we want to train the church well, and we want to provide as many opportunities as possible for the church to work. So we have over 700 volunteer shifts every month that are filled by members of the church in this area.
On my own experience working with Impact for a long time, we had individuals who would come and stay with ladies and or men and stuff, and just going to be here through the night. So
yeah, that's our RA position. In fact, that's always the one we're continually finding vacancies that we need filled, because the idea of staying overnight at a homeless shelter, if you've never done it before, it can feel a little intimidating. And so what we ask is, anytime I'm in a church, I say, men, we need guys willing to come and do it. And it's either you can come as a man yourself, you can come with your buddy, or you can come as a married couple. But we try not to have just a female here overnight. Not that we think you're in danger, but God forbid there's some strange situation that happens. We don't want anybody to be in a situation where they could get overpowered.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the RAs have their own room. They have locks on that door. You set an alarm system, and everyone just goes to bed. And it's, once you overcome that initial fear, it's a good way to serve, and you get to know people. I do it myself about once a month, and I'll sit there at the desk and I'll visit with somebody and hear their story and realize, these are just people. And they just took a wrong turn. And I can think of times in my life where, had I chosen differently, I could be right across that desk myself. So.
with all of that and the things that you since Wateredgardens has been established, now since you've been on board, what has your organization accomplished like today? Like what are the big highlights that you can kind of share with us?
Sure. Well, when I came on in 2017, we just opened a second campus, which is our Forge Center for Virtue and Work. And this is a 13 to 15 month long program for men coming out of chronic poverty, addiction, homelessness, even incarceration. And by the time they graduate, if they make it to graduation, they have a full-time job, they have their own place to live, they're off of all government assistance, and they're active members of a church and in the community. And I mean, studies have shown you can a community can save up to $40,000 a year for one person who gets off of assistance and stays off. So if you get through our program, and it costs about $5,500 to move a man through that program, the savings to the community is huge. And that's not even why we do it. We do it because it brings transformation to their life. We see men reunited to their wives and their kids and a sense of purpose and hope again. We have a media page. If you go to our website, wateredgardens.org, you scroll to the bottom, click media, you can watch videos of some of these guys. Josh, Jamie, we're doing one now. Darren just graduated last week and we're getting a video filmed.
That's
And
awesome.
we also opened our Worth Shop in the back, a 6,000 square foot space there where people are recycling metals and we turn those into jewelry that can be sold at market. We have an area where we roast and grind our own coffee and we sell that in the community and in churches. So that's a great way to support what we're doing. And then we finally, this last year, opened the Washington Family Hope Center, which is over on 2nd Street. And this is the old Washington Elementary building that we've renovated, and we've got 6 family units in there. So a mom with up to 4 kids can stay in one of those apartments for an extended period of time. We provide childcare on site, job training, and assistance so that they can get back on their feet. We had a woman stay there, one of our first moms. She came with her little boy, and she was here. I think she sought asylum in this country from over in Africa, and is now going to school. She came with a degree from her own country, and now she's pursuing, I believe it's a nursing degree here.
Oh, wow.
And her little boy's doing really well. He wouldn't even talk, couldn't hardly swallow before. Now he's flourishing, and she's actually now on staff part-time. So
That's
really
so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So looking at the things that you've got established here, I know that all nonprofits are usually always looking to the future and what's next. So coming into the rest of this year in 2022, what are the goals you guys have in front of you or that you're looking to achieve?
That's a good question. Well, we just were nominated for a True Inspiration Award from Chick-fil-A, and all the voting just ended in September, and we'll find out in December if we are getting one of the grants.
You guys got my vote, just so you know.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And we find out in December, and it gets announced publicly in January. Our hope is that we receive one of those grants, which will help us. What we want to do is renovate the upstairs over at Washington Family so we can provide more housing for moms and kids. So that's going to be a close to $1 million project to do that. And then we also have a national initiative where it's called True Charity. We have our own website for that, truecharity.us, and we actually travel all over the country and we teach the principles that we employ here. Be privately funded, have a measure of exchange so that you're not doing just handouts, and measure your outcomes, not just your output. So we're not just looking at how many pounds of food are provided or how many nights of shelter, how many lives are changed, how many people got off of an addiction, got back into church, got reconnected to family, how many people when they left here moved into their own place instead of back out onto the street, right? Those are outcomes that you can measure. And we not only do that here, but we teach that all over the country. And so that part of our ministry is really growing, and funding that is an emphasis for 2022 as well.
Absolutely, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Nothing happens without money. You know?
Right, that's right. Well, we tell people a great way to plug in with us is for $15 a month, you can sponsor one bed here for one night. And just know that one night every month you're taking care of somebody. And if we had about 3,000 households giving $15 a month, we'd have every bed sponsored for every night of the year. So that's a great way to just get started. I mean, that's what, 3 cups of coffee? It used to be 3, it's closer to 2 now, right? Yeah. But that you sacrifice a month to plug in and give in that way. You know, our ultimate vision though is we want to see the church boldly engage with the poor in 3 ways. Relationally, because it's all about relationship. True poverty is not a lack of stuff. It's a lack of family. We want you to be engaged relationally, responsibly, which means don't perpetuate handouts and create dependency or perpetuate dependency and put you in some position that you're not meant to be in their life, paternally speaking. So relationally, responsibly. And then third is always to do it compassionately.
Right.
We want it to be something that moves you. You see someone's need and you're moved to meet it in a way that really impacts them.
Can you share one or two moments that you can remember where you saw volunteers come into the organization or to one of the facilities and their life was just moved by their encounter?
Well, I tell you, I rather than say volunteer, I will say we get calls all the time from people saying, "Hey, I'd love to tour your campus." And now I have to tell them, well, there's 4 campuses, not just the one. And instead of 30 minutes, if you want to see it all, it's going to take 2 hours. But they show up, you start walking them around, and you show them the mission market where people can earn groceries. You show them the garden exchange where people can earn clothing. You show them the recycling and all the work that's getting done. You show them the respite center where people coming out of the hospital have a place to stay. And then you show them the shelter here, the chapel where we have services. You take them to Forge, you take them to Washington Family, and inevitably you hear, "I had no idea." And so I always tell people, if you're not really sure what we're about, man, give us a call. We'd love to show you around, give you a tour. And then you have volunteers who come in. I think of this one couple, David and Bev. They drive from Grove every Monday. That's 45 minutes to an hour drive for them. They're here every Monday and they work all day. And they do it because they love this ministry. And they plug in the kitchen and in the mission market, and they're serving, and now they know people, and the people know them, and they know the staff. And we featured them in a volunteer highlight just last month, thanking them and letting people know, hey, we need more people like David and Ben. That's right.
How can they come and help and be involved and give back other than financial ways?
Yes. Well, I'll say this. You can always pray for us. Because without the intervention of the gospel of Jesus Christ, nothing we do here has lasting impact. So pray for us, pray for the staff, the volunteers, the people that are going through the programs, the clients we serve. You can promote us. Tell people about Watered Gardens. If you see somebody on a street corner holding a sign, rather than give them money, give them directions to our ministry. And you can then, of course, partner with us. And when I tell people to partner, there's 2 main ways. If you go to our website, wateredgardens.org, up on the top right-hand side, you got 2 buttons. One is Give. And as the guy raising money, I always encourage people, click Give. Even if it's $5, every little bit helps.
Right.
But then right next to that is Volunteer. And if you click that Volunteer button, you can put your information in, and it gives you some areas to think about. Maybe I want to help in hospitality. Maybe I want to help behind the scenes. It doesn't matter necessarily. You can put what your interests are, or you can leave that part blank. You click Submit. You don't have to worry. No one is now saying, okay, you volunteered, get in here. All that does is give your information to Dana and Darlinda. Dana handles groups. Darlinda handles individuals. They will reach out to you. They'll give you a call or they'll send you an email, and they'll set up a time to show you around. And then the whole point of their conversation with you is to find out, where you plugged into church in the area, what is your availability, what is your area of interest, and let's find a way to match all of that with our needs across our 4 campuses. We get you plugged in, you get going, and if it's not quite the right seat on the bus, we'll move you around. Hopefully we'll get something that helps you feel fulfilled and that the time you're giving is making an impact.
Right.
And it'll help us to make sure we're meeting needs as effectively as possible.
What, as far as if people want to donate, what are Watered Gardens' biggest needs right now?
Well, we're always looking for folks who can bring us boots, work boots, and we're moving into the winter time. Hats, gloves, coats. We're always needing scrubs because when you first come in, your stuff has to go in a hot box, just protect, kill anything that might spread in the place.
Sure.
So we put you in scrubs your first night, and then so we always need that. We always encourage people, if you have electronics or metals, appliances, we will come pick them up, and we recycle those. We mine the copper out of them to make bracelets that we can sell, and whatever we can't turn into something to sell, gets picked up and we get a check from recycling for that. So
Okay.
you can donate new or gently used, and I emphasize that because some people go through and when they've totally worn something out, they say, well, I'll give it to the homeless. We're not looking for that. People are working to earn these items. They need to be nice. So new or gently used clothing, furniture, household things that we can put in our thrift store. We always need those too. And then of course you can donate canned goods, pastas, canned meats, canned fruits and vegetables. We have folks that are at farms and they'll bring us eggs, milk. We've got freezers and we've got refrigerators, so we can take care of and hold all those kinds of things so that when someone shops here, they're not just getting dented cans of beets, right? So you can always donate those, and then we need people to donate their time. You can be a part of a meal crew. You can come serve breakfast or dinner here at the Outreach Center with your team. You can serve dinners at the Forge or dinners at Washington Family. So there's opportunities there to get plugged in and get your feet wet with some people around you that you know, which can help overcome the initial fear. Yeah.
Very cool. So if somebody wanted to get involved or donate, is there I know you mentioned the website, wateredgardens.org, is that correct?
Wateredgardens.org.
But is there a Facebook or other social media ways of connecting?
Oh yeah, I mean, we're on Facebook too, Watered Gardens Ministries. Look us up there. You'll see posts every day from us. We try to thank people in the community that are partnering with us. We try to let you know of upcoming events, and we try to let you know of needs we have. So the posts are varied, but that's a great way. If you respond, if you make a comment on there, one of our team members will reach out to you and we'll get you connected and point you in the right direction.
Outstanding. So Watered Garden Ministries.
Yep, you go to wateredgardens.org for our website. You can look us up on Facebook, Watered Gardens Ministries. Yep.
Outstanding. Well, Travis, that's the time that I wanted to spend with you today.
Thank you.
And the question I had, I really appreciate it. Travis Hurley, Director of Advancement here at Watered Gardens. If they wanted to contact here, what is the best phone number? Who do they need to ask for?
417-623-6030 is our phone number. If you want to reach me, I give people my cell. It's 417-540-6154. You can call me or shoot me a text, and if I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction. You can email me at travis@wateredgardens.org as well.
Okay. Well, we will have that information at the bottom, like you did with the interview. They'll have the information on it so they can see it. Kind of go from there. But other than that, Travis, thank you so much. It's been great. We really appreciate it.
Good catching up with you,
And
Dean.
I look forward to seeing what Watered Gardens is going to do in the future. It's going to be great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks.